Today I fucked up by talking to my mom on speakerphone. My wife has started this incredibly annoying habit of walking around the house talking on speakerphone, like super loud and really annoying. Often, she's having very personal conversations with her friends that no one else should really be hearing either. So, I thought I would show her how annoying it was by calling my mom and talking to her on speaker while walking around the house. It took me a second to figure out because I never use the speakerphone setting, but once I did I was glad to find out that my phone is way louder and way more obnoxious than my wife's. The whole plan completely backfired. Instead of being annoyed by the annoying use of loud speakerphone, my wife just joined in on the conversation and it ended up lasting the better part of 2 hours. So now, it seems to have just normalized the behavior instead of stopping it. Too long didn't read, tried to stop annoying bad phone habit, instead got stuck on a 2-hour call. LPT, don't solve your marital squabbles via manipulation. Conversation passive aggression. My mom has been doing this exact thing since I was a child. Maybe add some good in-ear/noise cancelling headphones to the Christmas list. But seriously, I try to talk to her about the personal stuff. She might not realize you can listen or rather are forced to listen. Yeah, we're going to have a talk about it. With my wife, actions usually speak louder than words, so I went straight to the demonstration. But, I forgot that my life is a bad sitcom now. I came here expecting to read that you'd put the phone on loudspeaker and your mum started shit-talking your wife. My expectations of Reddit have plummeted. Oh, moms could rant. Lol, called my mom one time for something simple, quick question. Forget it. Was on the phone for like 45 minutes. Exactly. I called my mom to ask her something about my grandpa and an hour and a half later I was telling her all about my purchases from Sam's Club and what I was ordering for dinner that night. On the bright side, you made your mom's day. Today I fucked up by trying to get sexy with my milk-filled jugs. Edit 1, for clarity for some, I am a woman married to a woman. Carry on. Edit 2, this story has nothing to do with being in a same-sex relationship, but if you're a homophobe that wants to focus on that, don't. No one cares. Obligatory. This actually happened yesterday morning. So I had a baby back in September and any birth givers on here will know how much pregnancy, followed by taking care of a new baby will suck every last nano drop of your already piss-weak libido. If you're one of those women who are like, oh my sex drive rocketed during pregnancy, I'm happy for you, now fuck off outta here. Anyway, we haven't had sex in like 6 months, and our relationship in general has just been on the back burner while we put all of our attention on raising these kids. A couple days ago the new baby started sleeping through the night, which means when I wake up in the morning my tits are fucking huge, hard and perky. I'm thinking, well, isn't this a nice bonus? Got to find the silver linings where you can. My wife is going to love this. So it's 6 AM. Both kids still asleep. I've got a set of massive knockers, so it's a rare but prime opportunity to show my wife some love. After a quick dash to the bathroom, I crawl back into bed and start off with the old sexy cuddling technique to get her attention. We are getting into it and clothes are coming off. I've mounted her to give her a good look at these newfound jugs. I'm giving them a bit of a rub and getting them in her face when all of a sudden my left tit decides to let go and squirts a stream of fucking milk in my wife's hair, eye and mouth. How fucking awkward. Now again, people who have done this breastfeeding shit will also know, when it flows it fucking flows, talking 5 to 10 seconds of steady stream when one of these babies let go. So I've just realized what happened, and trying to stem the stream, my wife, who at first like WTF just wet me, finally realizes what's just happened and starts pissing herself laughing at my attempt to be sexy while I'm frantically trying to reach for the nearest spit rag to soak up the rest of my milk and dignity. I've dismounted and laid down next to her, we're both laughing pretty hard. Both my tits have started leaking and baby has started crying. We haven't had sex yet, but my wife is going to laugh and give me shit about this for days, so that's something, right? Too long didn't read, tried getting sexy with my juggernaut milk-filled tits, ended up squirting my wife in the face. Honestly, sometimes those are the things that keep a relationship going and happy. Hope the dry spell ends soon, Lamau. Sounds to me like the dry spell is definitely over. My dumbass first thought when I read the title, why did you try to get sexy while holding milk-filled jugs? Why didn't you just put them down? Give me shit about this for days. You misspelled years. Slept with a lady that was 9 months pregnant. Her doctor said sex can start the birthing process, and totally forgot about the fact that there would be milk when I sucked on her nipples. Got quite the surprise. It wasn't the shower y'all got though. He started contractions the next day. Missionary accomplished. God. Fucking. Missionary accomplished. Fucking hell. XD, thanks for the laugh. Reminds me when I fell asleep without my breast pads. I woke up soaked. I learned a lesson that night. Today I fucked up by getting a COVID test. This happened literally 2 hours ago. I had a high-risk contact with someone who tested positive for COVID a couple days ago, so I needed to get tested to see if I had the virus or not. It was my first test ever. I didn't know what to expect other than someone poking with a stick in my nose. I heard from people it could hurt a little, and since I have a high pain tolerance, I thought it would just feel as a minor inconvenience. Oh boy, was I wrong. I sat on this plastic chair and for some reason I had my hands between my legs. When the doctor put this stick in my nose, it hurt so much I grabbed onto the chair. It felt like she was poking my brain or something. Because I was so overwhelmed of the pain, I squeezed the edge of that chair so hard, like when you squeeze someone's hand when you're in pain, that I accidentally snapped a part of the chair. Snapping the chair scared the shit out of me that I moved my head, while the stick was still in my nose. That made it even more hurt. That doctor was also looking at me like, damn, WTF did you just do? She was startled. When she got the stick out of my nose, I looked at my hand and I saw I cut myself to the chair. It wasn't a deep cut, so I covered it up in some paper towel and excused myself a million times to the doctor for breaking her chair. She found it kinda funny, I guess. The chair wasn't worth a penny, that's why it broke so easily, that they didn't really mind. This situation just took 10 seconds, so everything was going so fast. But JFC, my head hurts a lot now because of that stick that poke almost in my brain. My hand is fine though. TL, doctor, I broke a chair and cut my hand while getting a corona test. Edit. Indeed, double fuck up because I didn't wait long enough, so I have to undergo this experience twice. Edit 2. In my country you can't get tested just because you want it. You need a genuine reason. We had a shortage of tests a couple months ago, so only essential workers and people who were nearly dying could be tested. Now everyone with symptoms or who risk contacts can be tested. It's not like Luxembourg, for example, where everyone get every couple weeks a letter from the government that it is time to get tested again. We need a reason. Edit 3. I tested negative. And just for your information, I didn't break any of the rules in my country. We are allowed to have one contact we can cuddle and don't have to be 6 feet away from. My cuddle buddy works in a psychiatric facility. She got COVID from one of the patients there. No one broke rules. No one is an asshole here. FYI, you're supposed to get tested 5 to 7 days after contact. If you get tested before incubation period, it gives false negatives. Yeah, you think you have a high pain tolerance. You don't. Is it really supposed to hurt? I've had 3 and it never hurt. The first one I got felt uncomfortable but not really painful. I just close my eyes and wait for it to be over. I guess you just could be different, or maybe the doctor was more aggressive than usual. After that experience I'd be inclined to try a different test facility if one is available. Unfortunately you should get another test, as others have noted, as you didn't wait long enough. I've gotten 2 and both were perfectly fine. It was uncomfortable for sure, but my eyes barely watered. My sister got them done right after me and bawled her eyes out from the pain. I think it must have something to do with your nasal passage. When I was taught how to do those tests, my instructor literally said that if the patient isn't squirming and acting uncomfortable, it's probably not in far enough. They do have to go very far in. There's a line on the ones we use that has to go to all the way to the nostril. It's not very comfortable. Sorry about that, everyone. The huge bummer here is that it's totally pointless to get tested 2 days after exposure. Of course it will be neg. You experienced that for no reason and now should get tested a week to 10 days after possible exposure. Winking face.